those lats as you roll back. It's good to get a little bit of motion in those lats. The lats are right behind, right here. So we'll get our lats going. And just rise and fall. And just go ahead and do another circle if you want. We'll see who else joins us. All right. And then let's go ahead and twist to one side. This just feels good today. And go ahead and twist to the other side. And then let's just go ahead and stretch up nice and tall. And then just release it down. And let's go ahead and do a little stretch across the front. I reach across like this. I don't know if you can see, I'll tilt this down a little bit. Like that. Wow, I can feel that all the way up to my neck. And then let's go ahead and do this one. And again, if I go too fast and you're in a good stretch, you can stay in that stretch. If it's feeling like that area needs a little more attention, do that. I do 10-second stretches and I really should be doing 30 seconds, but I feel like we'd be here forever. So, but if you feel like something's really tight, stay there a little longer. I'll try to go slower. And then we're going to pull it back and we're going to put our hand right over the thumb so we get the thumb in there too. This is great if you're spending a lot of time on the computer. This feels good. All right, let's do our pec stretch by grabbing behind. And you can do the doorway stretch if you feel like you're really super tight. This one, like I can't even lift my arms up very high, so my pecs are pretty tight. And then we'll do the thing where I'll do it this way, where we squeeze the scapula. Try and give those a workout. We're working the lats. We're squeezing the scapula together. And this is good anytime you're at the gym. You know, if you're doing something, try to do it, especially if it's out front like this. You try to do it with your lats. Make sure you're using your lats when you do it. That's always good. Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, so let's see. Let's do some stretches on the lower body. I'll move back a little bit and stretch forward. And you can do this one low on the floor if you want to. And I stickle the foot because I like to get the outside muscle, but if you want to get the back of the calf, you can do it this way too. Both are good. So I loved what folks wrote about Mark Morris. Those were really interesting. People had a lot of cool stuff to say. I love the part where people talked about how the arm was sort of pulling him, almost like the emotion of jealousy. It was just taking over. That was a cool comment. And people just had lots of cool stuff to say. One person said, because it began and ended the same way, it was like the jealousy got him nowhere. I thought that was a good comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There was some really good feedback from that. It's one of my favorite pieces of his. And I think the Handel piece is called Jealousy as well. He's very influenced by music, so it makes sense that he'd pick a piece of music and go with what the music was composed about. Let's go ahead and stretch both forward and get both legs. And I'm doing a flexed foot, you can see. And I'm going to shift my computer because I think you can see me better if it's up higher. I can get a little bit more. Yes, that looks better. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and reach up nice and high and just go to the side. I'm going to keep both sits bones on the floor. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to keep everything. I'm going to keep connected to the floor. And I can feel this right in the waist area. And let's go ahead and bring both soles of the feet together. And you can go ahead and let them just go. If they're up here, that's fine, or you can let them go down here. You can also bring it out a little bit more if you want to. Find the right position for you. And then we'll go ahead and tilt to the side. And again, I'm trying to keep both sits bones connected to the floor, so I'm not letting it come off like that. Yeah. And I'm going to try and send the energy out almost like I have a straight arm. And the only thing that's changing is that I'm tilting the body to the side. Yeah, good. Because that kind of brings the stretch all the way up the side body, that lengthening of the arm. And whenever you're ready, we'll shift to second position, and we'll do the same side stretch. They keep saying it's going to be warm. I'm waiting for the warm stretching weather. I can't wait. Whenever we have one of those nice warm days, go ahead and do these stretches. You'll get a little more stretch, a little more flexibility on a warm day. And we'll go ahead and point your toes on this one. When you point the toes, you can get a little more flexibility too. Let's go ahead and turn towards one of the legs, whichever side you want to start with. I can feel it more in the inner thigh when I do this. And then to the other side, whenever you're ready, go at your own pace. Feel what your body needs, that's important. And if you can, it's up to you, or you can stay in the side stretch. Go ahead and stretch forward. And I'm trying not to let my legs rotate in, but I'm trying to keep those turnout muscles turning out against the leaning forward. And if this one's too hard, you can bring the legs in a little bit, like this. That's okay. Walk it back. And I'm going to go ahead and stand up and adjust my computer. Have a little sip of water. We'll do a few more stretches standing up. And I'm stretching my quad. I'll turn to the side. I did that on one leg, yay. Hard to balance. And then I'm going to lunge back and I'm going to get that psoas. So the leg that's lengthened behind, and I'm actually going to go to the wall for this one because my floor is very slippery and I'm slipping. So I've got my leg behind me. I take the arm with the leg that's extended behind. I reach up and tilt away. And that'll get my psoas. Good. This is a good one if you've been sitting in a chair a lot, you know, typing your papers and whatnot. And then go ahead and switch to the other leg. And I'm going to do it from this side so I can lean against the wall. That feels good to do on a Monday. Now I'm going to do my lunge stretch, and at the same time, we're going to do a 2-for-1. We're going to do this. Now, if you don't have a lot of flexibility, you don't want to lean against it, it's okay to turn your hands this way, but just to get that extra stretch. And then I'm going to send this behind in a lunge where I'm bending the front leg, and I send the leg behind me just like we were doing, but we're just stretching, we're just leaning against the wall. This is to stretch the calf muscle. And if this feels weird on the hands, you can tinker with maybe lowering the arms a little bit. And then you can switch legs whenever that feels like you've gotten a good stretch. And you can allow the feet to be slightly turned out in this one, if you want to. Tinker around with the position of the feet and see what feels the tightest and go with that one. And I'm going to do the other leg one more time because that left leg is very tight today. And now you can bring your toes together. I'm going to spotlight this little moment so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. So I'm going to step across the bridge of my foot and press that other heel down. And this gets my peroneals, which is the outer edge of the leg, the outer calf muscle. And mine's really tight, so it's good to do this. I'll loosen it up, and then I'm going to switch legs. And this one a little longer because this one's very tight today. And you can decide which leg feels tighter and which one you want to stay in longer. And if this is too confusing, you can go ahead and go back to that lunge stretch too, that's fine. And keep breathing. Do a nice little breath and exhale. All right, so hopefully we've stretched a little bit of everything. Anything feels tight that we didn't hit? What do you think? Any requests? Okay, let's go ahead and we'll do our plies. If you want to put music on for yourself, go ahead. And we're going to start in parallel position, stretching up nice and tall. Release the arms forward, and we're going to do a curve. And I'm only curving from like here up. So I'm going from the stretch to here, then I'm curving forward. So I'm not doing a whole thing from the waist, just up here, and plie, and straighten. And then I'm going to go to the side, and to the side. And I feel this right around the waist. And then from here, we're just going to plie, open the arms, and plie, straighten the legs, upper back arch. Coming up, and we're going to swing and release, and swing and release. And go ahead and go up into a nice little releve. Gentle, easy releve. I think we're just going to do each position once. So we'll go to first position. If you want to find your first position turnout, rotate, just roll back on your heels. For me, I have a right degree angle. Unlike the ballerinas who tend to be 180, I'm definitely about half that. So here we go, straightening up and release, curving forward, just the upper body. And come back up. And now I'm going to go to the other side. And to the other side. And back up to straight. I'm now going to plie and open and plie and straighten the legs. Upper back arch, just the upper back. And come up, and we're going to swing, bend and straighten, and bend and straighten. Go ahead and go up to releve, up onto your toes. And then we'll go to second position, stretching up and release, curving down, demi-plie. Come up to straight, and then we'll go to the side. And other side. And come back to straight. And plie, straighten the legs. We're going to arch. And up and swing. Bend and straighten and bend and straighten. And rise. Good. So that's our plies. Next, we'll do our Cunningham exercise. We'll do playing without traveling. Then we'll do our traveling. Then the third time, we'll do our turning. So here we go. Bring the arm up, curving forward. And side, reaching through. And demi-plie. And up and over on the other arm, curving forward. And side, reach through, and curve. That's the C curve. So the difference between the first one, it's a high curving with just the upper back like we did in the plies. The last one is the C curve, and we bring the pelvis under, just to make that distinction. So now we're going to add the travel steps. Curve, upper curve, side, reach through, step across. And finish with the C curve. Up and over, and side, reach through, step across, and curve. This time we'll add the turn, up and over, and side, reach across, and turn. Up and over, last time. And side, reach across, and finish. Hopefully that went well. That's sort of a review because we've been doing that for a little while. Go ahead and grab some water. I know all that talking and dancing makes my throat dry. So next we're going to do something where we work on our rotator muscles. So what we're going to do is a little exercise, turning in and turning out. I'm trying to work these top muscles right at the top of my leg by rotating my leg. Let me step back a little bit. By rotating my leg, turning in and turning out. So just try that once. You're going to move the whole leg in one piece. And you're going to be using that muscle up here. So just try doing that just to get a feel for it. And turn it in and turn it out. So we're going to do this from first position. And I'm trying to figure out, I want to make sure you can see my lower body. We're not going to do that much dancing with the arms. So, all right, we'll try it like this. So we're going to go ahead Bring the arms out to the side, brush forward. Turn it in, turn it out, plie. And then we'll go forward on the other side. Turn it in, turn it out, and plie. And side, turn it in, turn it out, and plie. And side. You can see my whole leg is turning in one piece. And then we're going to go back. Now back is going to feel a little weird. You really have to turn out. Let me show you that from the side because it's a very weird thing. So you're here. You're going to turn it in, turn it out. You won't get as much rotation from the back. And plie. And go back, turn it in, turn it out. Start back this time. We'll go back, back, side, side, front, front. Let's start on the left leg so we don't get stuck in a rut. Here we go. Back, turn in, turn out, and plie. And back, turn in, turn out, and plie. Good, we did the hard one first. Side, turn in, and out, and plie. And this is, I'm really going to the diagonal. I'm not going directly side. I'm really picking the diagonal. Turn it in, turn it out, and plie. And one more time, I'm going to rest my arms. You can do that if you want to, if they're getting tired. And front, and turn it in, turn it out, and plie. Go ahead and shake your feet out. I think we should do a little warm up for the feet. Let's go ahead. Press the metatarsals, and switch, and switch, and switch. No? Okay. Let's review it. So we started with, actually I'm going to switch back to speaker view so I can tell whether you can see me or not. Okay. So we start by bringing the arms up from the side, and we're going to twirl the hands. And we're going to send that leg across. Maybe if I get back a little, you can see me better. So we're going to go like this, and then slice. Arms come from the side, and slice down front. So we do that twice. Then from there, we bring that hand up, and we turn the palm away, and we walk in a circle. From here, this arm comes up from the back. And we're going to bring the head into a curve. That same arm that has come forward is going to then reach back. I'll do it slightly to the side so you can see what I'm doing. From there, we're going to tilt side. Let's go that far. So we go up from the side, slow and soft, and slice sharp and fast. Slow and soft, and slice. Hand comes up, walk around. So we're going to go more than a full turn, and then come forward and go back. From here, you're going to go to the side and walk backwards around. And I think that's as far as we got last week. So I started by facing front. I'm going to do 1 1/4 turn, which means that when I go around, I'm actually going to end up facing side. So I go front, I go around, I'm front, but I'm going to go a little further just to be on that side. From here, I'm going to curve forward, bring my arms back and around, like that. Let's go that far. And we're going to go up and slice, and up and slice. Walk around, arm comes up and back, around to here. Now, once I'm in this position, I'm facing side. I'm going to come up and face front. I'm going to step back with my right leg, swipe the right arm across my belly. Step back with the left, Swipe across the belly and step back one more time. So it's just 3. So from here, I go back around, forward, swipe, swipe, swipe. From here, I'm going to do something fast. I think you're going to like this part. I'm going to go like that. So it's almost kind of like, yeah, it's just fun. So the first shape is here. So I've got my right arm up and I'm connecting here. So I'm here, crossing, down. I think that's right. Let me do it fast. It's one of those things that my body remembers, but my brain doesn't. So here, here, here. So we're going to do here, here, here. The right arm is up. But if you want to mirror me, then it would be the left. So let's go back to the beginning. So here we go. And slice. I'm going to kind of walk through it quicker. And slice. Walk around. Arm comes forward and back. Circle around. Arms come forward and swipe, swipe, swipe. And I step together into parallel as I do it, and I do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show that from the side because I think you can see it better. So because of this arm. So let's see, I'm going in a circle. If this were front, I'm going in a circle. This arm comes up and I go forward and then back with the same arm. So it's kind of like in the Mark Morris piece where his arms took over. This arm is bringing my body forward, and then this arm is bringing me back. Then from there, I'm just going to tilt to the side so that I can go around that arm. We've walked around with the hand. We come to the front. This other arm, this hand, and then the opposite arm, whichever way you're doing it, comes forward. Same arm reaches back. And then I just add in the body. It's forward and back. And you just walk and back. So I'm literally with my feet, I'm just walking and walking. And adding that arm, same arm reaches back. And it's 3 steps forward and 3 steps back. Yes, I'm bringing the palms out. I feel like, it feels to me, and this is, maybe it doesn't help at all, but it feels like a hawk flying down to me. But yeah, I'm bringing the arms like this. Good eye. 20 minutes. All right, so from the beginning, here we go. And twirl and slice. And I'm going to move back a little and slice. Walk in a circle and come forward. Reach back, stepping together, side, walk backwards. I call them the hawk arms here. Then we're going to face front, right arm, left arm, right arm. Quick, quick, quick. So let's see. Let me just go over the new part one more time. So from the hawk arms, I'm walking backwards and backwards, or you can just take tiny steps in place if you don't have space. And backwards, quick, quick, quick. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the arm up, but I have the hands, I'm walking around my hands like that. So it's the same feet, just instead of being here, I'm here. So walking around, and then from here, this one's a little tricky. I'll get back. I'm going to end up facing that side again. I'm going to step with my most upstage, furthest away leg, and I'm going to go on my heels, just like I did with my hands. I'm going to do that with the feet. And then I'm going to step and do it a second time. That one's a little tricky. Let's go from the hawk arms one more time. So we are here. 1, 2, 3. Quick, quick, quick. Around. And I have to do a plie, and then I just go over like that on my heels. Step, step, so I'm facing back again. Plie, heels. So let's see, we have done this, quick, quick, quick. Circle to face side, step, plie, heels. And I'm only doing like a little half circle. So I'm just going from this facing to that facing. Then I'm gonna step on it, step behind. Then I'm back in this position again, and I can do the heels again. So let me clarify those feet. So let's see, we've gone around in a circle. We're facing this way. Step back, heels, step, step, step. I'm basically doing 3 steps to get right back to where I was to begin with. Heels again, step together. How about from this? So we go around, we're facing this way. My pelvis is tilted toward the side of the room. And I'm gonna I use a little arm swing in the plie, which helps my balance. Then I'm gonna step, step, step to get back to that same position. Plie, around, step together. You can think of it this way. I'm facing the side of the room. I'm gonna turn to the back of the room on my heels. Then I'm just gonna step, 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 do whatever feet you need to get back there to repeat it. Try that with me. Face the side of the room. Now you're gonna step with that foot that's closest to the back of the room. You have to step back. And you can go a little further if you want, or a little shallower. From here, plie, just turn on the heels. I'm turning, and I'm seeing the whole back of the room as I go around. And then you with me? Then I'm here. Now I'm gonna step on it, step on it, step on it. Now I'm back at where I started, and I can just do that heel thing. And I'm seeing the back of the room rather than the front, and I think that's what's confusing. Go ahead and try that. So you're facing the side. I'm in parallel, and I'm facing the side of the room. All right? Now the leg that is closest to the back of the room, I'm going to step back. Now I'm going to plie and just go onto my heels. Do a half turn toward the back of the room, so we're facing away. Exactly. Upstage meaning further away. Because if you were to step back with the front leg, this one toward the front, I really can't turn this way without twisting my legs. So I have to have this one back, like this. So do the one step and repeat it twice. So you're here, and you're going to take a couple of steps. I step behind, plie and repeat. So we'll go up, and slice, and up, and slice, and comes up, palm away, in a circle. Now I'm going to come forward with that arm, and back, to go back around, the little hawk arms, and then swipe, swipe, and get ready for this really fast one. Ready, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, excellent. And around to face side. Step back, plie, heels. Step, plie, heels. My arms are straight. I'm slightly bent forward. And all I'm going to do is keep my hands there. It's almost like I'm focused on a spot, and I'm going to circle around it. And I have to go more than a full turn to get to the side. Then from here, I come up and step back. I'm doing, let's see, I'm stepping back on my right leg, and I'm going from the left to the right. Step, step, I'm turning clockwise, then I'm going left to right. But if you want to mirror me, if it's easier for you to go the other way, that's fine. All right. How about we call that a night? And the folks at home, I'm going to put a timestamp in. You're going to send me that phrase. So you're just going to go from here, there, this part, forward and back, and then around here. Switch, 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 quick, quick, quick. Around and heels twice. We'll go that far today. All right. How about some stretching? Now I sent you the assignment. We'll talk about that while we stretch. So the assignment this week, let's go ahead and put our heels together. The assignment this week is to look at Twyla Tharp, who's a choreographer you could write your research papers about. I pushed the deadline for the research papers back to April 30th, because we still have the last 2 weeks into May. So April 30th is the new deadline for that. I'll want your topics by the Friday before, and I'll remind you about that. So you want to think about all these people we're watching. You may want to write your research paper about them. And she mentions a few other people in the video when they start to talk about the Judson Church group. Go ahead and stretch to the side. When she starts to talk about the Judson Church group, you can write your paper about that as well. They were the most experimental choreographers of the 60s. So they do a lot of really interesting things. So you can write about any of those people, about her, about Mark Morris. Let's go ahead and stretch to the side. And anybody else that you've seen videos of, Elvin Ailey, all those people. And I think you'll like this. They did some really crazy stuff. They were trying to redefine what dance was back then. And Twyla Tharp was somebody who went from the most experimental dance. She went from doing, you know, crazy stuff to working with ballet companies. So she did the whole gamut of things, and she even did stuff on Broadway too. There was a recent, I don't know if anybody saw it. Let's go ahead and stretch forward. I don't know if anybody saw it, but there was something called Twyla Moves on PBS the last couple of weeks. It was an hour-and-a-half special on Twyla Tharp, and they showed how she worked on Zoom with her dancers during the beginning of the pandemic. If you go to the pbs.org website, you might even be able to find that video. It was on a week or so ago, and they played it a few more times. It's called Twyla Moves. Her name is spelled T-W-Y-L-A. And it's a really good video. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, I think. And she's a character. She's really, you know, very lively. She's got to be like 80 now, but she's still going strong. She's just one of those people like that. And I give her a lot of credit, you know, for making a piece on Zoom. She's working with dancers from the most famous ballet companies, and she's doing all kinds of interesting things. Let's go ahead and stretch forward. So Twyla Tharp is a really interesting person. They start the video talking about her life a little bit, and then it expands into all these other experimental choreographers. So if you take a pen and you write down some of the names of the ones that you find interesting, any of those people you could write your research paper about. So start thinking about who you might choose. And I'm going to reach across. And yeah, there's a lot of good topics. So I sent you an email, and I put it up on Blackboard, a list of choreographers that I recommend. If you're going to write about somebody else, just run it by me before you start researching, just to make sure they're modern dance, because sometimes it's hard to tell. If they were in the video that we saw at the beginning of the semester, that's good too. If you want to go back and take a look at that video, you might find some interesting people there that you want to write about. Let's go ahead and just circle our ankles. And let's go ahead and stretch the arms. We did a lot of stuff with our arms today, so this is a good one. So any questions about this week's assignment? I put a bunch of questions just to prompt you with different ideas of what to write about. Kind of the difference, she talks a lot about the difference between ballet and modern. So that's a good way to understand modern dance a little bit better. She also talks about how why dancers use turnout so that they can move faster. And it's pretty funny when she starts talking about it, because she does this whole thing with her hands, and it's at the very end, I think you'll get a kick out of it. It always makes me laugh when I see it. Let's go ahead and turn towards the leg. She's a fun character. So if you're having any trouble getting my emails, let me know. I always send them to the UMB address. And since you're only writing a paragraph, you can just put it in the body of your email. That's fine. You don't have to do a separate PDF. No worries about that. Just write me a paragraph and send it. All right. I think we're about done. I will see you next Monday.